Good morning. I'm Winthrop Fire Chief Wiley. 3 weeks ago, along with WCAT, we did a tour of the existing conditions of the current fire stations at 40 Pauline Street and 416 Shirley. In an effort to continue to bring you more information, I recently visited 2 new fire stations in the Metro Fire District, Lexington Fire Headquarters and Woburn Fire Headquarters. We're going to continue to, we're going to bring you a slideshow presentation of these new facilities, starting with Lexington Fire Headquarters. This is a 26,000 square foot facility that cost the town of Lexington $22 million in 2020. We chose Lexington for 2 reasons. One, it is considered the gold standard of fire stations in and around the Boston area. It also is in a historic district, much like the location we're choosing here in Winthrop. As you can see from the architecture of this building, it fits the neighborhood. It's a beautiful building. And inside, it is a 21st century state-of-the-art fire station. This photograph was taken outside in the daytime, just shows the exterior of the building. On the first floor, this is a training room, 21st century training room that we meet in once a month as Metro Fire Chiefs. Another shot of the same room, this is the front of the room. This shot demonstrates the depth of the bays, the 4 bays in the station. It shows that they're able to have reserve apparatus inside the building, piggyback behind the frontline apparatus. Another shot of the interior of the 4 bays. One of the features in here is carbon monoxide detection that automatically opens the doors if any carbon monoxide is detected, as well as it's difficult to see, but some ceiling fans above that monitor temperature during the wintertime, and if the temperature rises too warm above, rather than lose that heat or waste it up above, they automatically come on and push the heat down to the apparatus floor level. Another shot demonstrating the depth of the bay. This is a traffic control device, and if you could zoom in closer, you could see there's on Bedford Street in Lexington, so if they're going Bedford Street North or Bedford Street South, they push the appropriate button and stop the traffic outside. They also have the same features inside each of the apparatus. One of the most important things in cancer prevention is the storage and proper storage of turnout gear. We currently store, as you saw in the videos, our gear on the apparatus floor, which is against OSHA regulations, and this is what you should have as state-of-the-art. This is a dedicated turnout gear room on the apparatus floor that has its own separate ventilation system, that 12 times a day there's a complete air exchange inside this room. Also, UV light degrades the fire retardant properties of the turnout gear. So this is all LED lighting that operates much like your refrigerator. If there's no motion detection and the doors are closed, the lights are off, thereby preserving and protecting the turnout gear itself. One of the hopes of the expansion of this new station for us is EMS response or BLS service from the fire department. This EMS storage is an inventory control system that helps them keep track of all of the supplies that they use. As part of the decontamination, this is Lexington's turnout gear extraction, their turnout gear drying. Above the apparatus floor is a mezzanine training area. This is a dedicated area. What would ordinarily be wasted space is used for in-house, in-service training. View of the apparatus floor from above the mezzanine level, the training deck. This is a really interesting feature from Lexington. They have a simulated high-rise response stairwell in the back of the building, not seen from the street level. And this is a bailout window right there that you would see. They can practice advancing hose lines over a ground ladder. They can practice bringing people or rescuing people in and out of windows, as well as rappelling from the interior. This is the same tower. This is to simulate a high-rise response. This is a dry standpipe that they would practice pumping into and advancing lines up above in a simulated high-rise response. One of the really interesting features about the Lexington Fire Headquarters is that this is the photovoltaic system or solar panels on the roof. In keeping with the historic district, this is completely hidden from the street. You can't see it. And what was new to me is this is a completely new feature. This is their entire hot water generation system for the building. It's on the roof, not seen from street level, and done completely by solar power. Fitness facility on the second floor, really important for first responders and firefighters to maintain physical fitness. Cardiovascular equipment, more cardiovascular equipment overlooking the apparatus floor. That's the shot from the fitness area overlooking the apparatus bay. This is on the second floor. This is the, going towards the administrative area. This is the dormitory facilities with dormitory rooms on one side and gender neutral unisex bathrooms on the other side with separate shower quarters in each one. This would be a typical bunk room in the dormitory side. And moving towards the fire administration, also on the second floor, this is outside the chief's office. That is the chief's office. And this was a photograph that I took just so I would have a record of who was the architect, who was the designer, who was the builder. This is Woburn Fire Headquarters that opened in April of 2023 at a cost of $25 million for the city of Woburn. While I don't think the exterior of this building fits the architecture or the neighborhood that we're talking about, it does have some very, very interesting interior features that we liked. This is their training area, also open to the public. This is another shot of the training area. This is their IT storage facility, vastly different than what we use. If you saw the video, we store some of our equipment, our IT equipment, in less than ideal situations, circumstances in the attic of the building. Just a snapshot of one of the several unisex, gender-neutral bathrooms that have individual showers in them. Again, a similar apparatus bay to Lexington, able to have back-to-back or piggyback reserve apparatus, able to store trailers and equipment indoors rather than outdoors. We showed pictures at the tour of our fire stations, our existing stations, of the antique electrical distribution systems. This is more in line to what a 21st century station should have. This was, I thought, an important photograph to share. So this would be looking from the apparatus floor, looking towards the living space. In order to prevent carcinogens and contamination from entering the living space, you would have to go through this airlock type situation. You leave the apparatus floor with no fire gear allowed beyond this point, enter a separate area, which would be a warm zone, before you can get into the living space or the administrative side, which would be the cold zone. Each of these is monitored or maintained at a separate atmospheric pressure, and the apparatus floor uses negative ventilation or negative pressure ventilation to keep contaminants out of the living space. So in the next few slides would be basically just a trail of, or a simulation of what a crew how they would get back to the station after a fire. I really like this setup in Woburn. So a crew would come back from a fire. This is on the apparatus floor. They would take off their Scott pack, their SCBA helmet and boots, and put them in. This is basically just like a big dishwasher. It would wash and decontaminate hard surface gear. This is their turnout gear extractor. This washes your bunker pants, your bunker coat, your gloves, and your Nomex hood. That is the drying station for turnout gear. So following the same route, you would take off your turnout gear, put it in the extractor, the boots, the coat, the pants, Nomex hood, and gloves. You would then take off your station wear, which would be your pants and shirt, because they're contaminated as well, and put them in a heavy-duty residential washing machine. The next step would be to enter into the shower room, which has 4 individual showers. Really important for cancer prevention is a catchphrase that they use: shower within the hour. Now entering the warm zone from the hot zone, you would go into the locker room where there would be clean, be it sweats or shorts and t-shirts that you could then enter into the cold space. This is their individual separate turnout gear storage room, much like Lexington's. Also has a completely separate ventilation system, also changes the air 12 times a day. SCBA fill station, one of the things that they did really well here was they stored the compressor outside, so all of the noise is generated outside, not in the room where the guys are filling the bottles. An SCBA service station where they maintain, test, and clean their SCBA, self-contained breathing apparatus. This was a really nice training feature on the second floor, the mezzanine level in Woburn. This is a bailout rappelling station. You can see above the window there's a point of contact for rappelling and practicing bailing out or rescuing in and out of a window. It's nice that this is inside the building because whether it's raining out or snowing out, winter or spring, you can still practice indoors throwing ground ladders and practice advancing lines. Again, this is from the inside looking up at the same place. I thought this was a really nice feature where they did an abrasion-resistant exterior of this wall so that practicing throwing ground ladders inside the building didn't damage the building or the inside wall at all. From the website of the architect who designed the Lexington Fire Headquarters, I felt it was important to show you, in keeping with the mission statement of the Firehouse Building Committee, to design and build an energy efficient building. I just wanted to bring this to mind. The 26,000 square foot fire headquarters is a highly efficient building, meeting LEED gold equivalents. The station operates a full electric and solar thermal system, including the first radiant apparatus floor in North America. And no fossil fuels are burned on site, with the exception of a backup hot water heater and a kitchen range. Rooftop photovoltaics, or the solar system, offset the building's electrical use and are hidden from street level in keeping with historic district considerations. First responder safety and air quality were also primary considerations during design, with 100% outside air units, MERV 13 filters, optimized carbon dioxide monitoring, and dilution. At last night's Firehouse Building Committee meeting, we were excited to announce up and running is the new Winthrop Fire Station webpage, winthropfirestation.com. This is an interactive website that went live 2 days ago. With an FAQ that mirrors the brochure that went out last week, that answers about 25 of the most common questions that we've all been asked about the new fire station. On the home page is a calendar of all of the events, meeting locations, and meeting times. And this will be constantly added to as we progress. Moving over to the existing fire stations is a link to the video presentation that we did of the existing stations with WCAT. The video and news tab that takes some snippets from some of the meetings that we had that we felt were important to share with you. One of the important tabs, most important tabs here is the Ask Questions, which gives residents an opportunity to ask a question of the Firehouse Building Committee. We ask your name, first and last, your email, confirmation, and your address, which is important because we want people from Winthrop and not people from outside the community to be asking these questions. And beginning tonight, September 7th, there will be a new link to this added to this top bar. It's a finance tab that's an interactive finance tab using a calculator feature that will enable residents to see the total net effect to their individual tax bill based on your home's assessed value. We go back to the home page. One of the things that we added was host a coffee hour. The Winthrop Firehouse Building Committee believes that community engagement is at the heart of every successful project. That's why we're thrilled to introduce a coffee hour initiative. We understand meaningful conversations often start over a cup of coffee, and we're eager to connect with you in a relaxed, friendly setting. By hosting one of our committee members for a coffee hour with you and your friends, you're taking an active role in shaping the future of our town. It's an important opportunity to learn more about the proposed fire station facility and to ask questions. Let's gather around, savor some coffee, and brew up a stronger Winthrop together. Sign up below and host your very own coffee hour. One other feature with regards to this website is there's a mass mailer going out to every residence in the town of Winthrop. It should be in your mailbox next week that will direct you to this website where all of this information will be available.